morning, everybody. Seniors, are you all there? Good morning. I hope I find you all very cheerful this morning. Smile, ear to ear, from ear to ear. Come on, smile, everyone. Hope you're healthy, happy, cheerful. Yama, yeah, good morning, all. Okay, that means you all are there. Come on. Now, I've given you one case study, transportation case. Kindly open that. Kindly open your case study. Okay. You read this. A leading beverage company entered India with a typical global business model. All right? Good morning. A leading beverage company, they have not given the name, entered India. Beautiful day to you too, Sepide. Good morning. Namaskara, namaste. In Mangalore we say namaskara. Tulu also. In Kannada also namaskara. Namaste, Hindi. All of you, good morning. I'll start now. You look at your case study, transportation case. Okay? A leading beverage company entered India. Morning, Naneshwari. A leading beverage company entered India with a typical global business model. What was the global business model? Or what is the meaning of the word global? Global means, imagine, I will say this is a global product. If I say this is a global product, I do not need to customize it for any country. I do not need to customize it for any customer. It will be accepted in its same form all over the world. This is a global product. Alright? Again, a global product will be accepted in the same form all over the world. Is that clear? In the same form. Suppose we are saying Swiss chocolates. We want Swiss chocolates only. We want it in the Swiss essence, Swiss terms. The Swiss smell, everything. When we say a Parisian perfume, a Paris, okay, gay Paris or whatever you call it. Sorry about the word. It came from some movie. Sorry. When you talk about Paris, when you talk about a Parisian perfume, then you want it the smell of Paris itself. When you say Indian perfume, you want Indian perfume. You want the smell of roses or jasmine. When you say, yeah, Mangalorean jasmine is awesome also, or Mysore Mallige. When you want it like that, you want it in that perfume only. Mysore Mallige perfume. You want it in that perfume only. Is that clear? Bangalore roses perfume. You want the same smell. So accepted all over the world. A nice perfume, maybe some pens. See, for example, you have Parker pens. They don't need to customize it for the world because it's accepted. Masood, good morning. It is accepted in the same form all over the world. Do you understand? So, a leading beverage company entered India with a typical global business model. How? Sole ownership of distribution. This is a tough thing to ask. I'm going to distribute, I'm a foreign company, I have come to India, and I'm going to distribute it only by myself in a strange country which I have not been before. Wahidullah, good morning. I used to call you Wahidappa, no? Sorry. You have a beautiful name. Good morning. So, a sole ownership of distribution is a tall order when you go to a different new country. This approach raised costs and dampened market penetration. It raised costs and dampened market penetration. How? The company's managers quickly identified two other big challenges. India's fragmented market demanded multiple channel handoffs. See, for example, you're distributing some beverage. Forget this case study. Look at our case study. Suppose we are manufacturing, say, we have Coca Cola in Bidadi. Say, Coca Cola wants to distribute Coca Cola in Bangalore. Also, it wants to send to Mysore. Remember, Bangalore to Mysore is a highway, two-lane highway. So it can go fast, it can go on any vehicle you send. Say a truck, big truck, it can go. Can the same truck distribute inside Bangalore? Definitely not. In Bangalore, you may have some alleys to go, some gullies to go, some Cotton Pit Road, imagine. In Tannery Road, imagine. Tannery Road is broad. Imagine you have to go into gullies to give this thing. Can you send a truck in Bangalore, inside Bangalore? Definitely not. You need those autos or some kind of small goods, this one, and you need plenty of them. I don't know what they are called. The small goods carriers, which can go, which are as broad as an auto rickshaw. Yeah, broad as an auto rickshaw. That is enough, isn't it? Why? That's funny. Yeah, yeah, that's enough. So think of, would it be the same in some other country? May not be. In some other country, it may not be so. You may be able to send the same truck with all the broad roads and all that. But the challenge in India is very different. Inside Bangalore, given the traffic and given the smallest shops make the biggest money, where would you go to buy a Coca-Cola uh, in a crowded area? The smallest shops make the biggest money with all the soft drinks or the chai shops and all that, isn't it? So that is typical to Bangalore or maybe some other this thing. It is typical to Bangalore, and it may be in other cities also. I'm not discounting that, but what I'm trying to tell you is uh, definitely you can't send the same truck that takes your Coca Cola to Mysore or to Chennai. Inside Bangalore, you will require a different kind of truck, small trucks. Do you have those trucks? If you are outsourcing your logistics to some company that takes it long distance, say Bangalore to Mysore, Bangalore to Chennai, Bangalore to Mangalore, and all, it does, then can you give the same company the logistics in inside Bangalore? You may require a different logistics person inside Bangalore. Ahmad, good morning. All right. So India's fragmented market demanded multiple channel handoffs, and labor laws made organized distribution operations very expensive. In response, the company contracted distribution to entrepreneurs, cutting costs and raising market penetration. All right. Now imagine you want to supply Coca Cola to all the shops from Bangalore to Mysore. All right. All the shops from Bangalore to Mysore. Can you send a truck for this? You can send a truck for a one stop from Bangalore to Mysore. Would it be wise to send a truck to stop at all the small shops on the way? You would send truck would download say in Mandya or Madur or somewhere, and from there you would need local distributors. All right. So it is difficult in India to do the distribution yourself. All right. A big global automobile company has become one of the largest manufacturers in India, growing at a rate of more than 40% a year over the last decade. By building a local plant, setting up an R&D facility to help itself better understand what appeals to Indian customers, and hiring a well-known Indian figure as its brand ambassador. Who is the brand ambassador for Seltos? Kia, Tiger Shroff. They call it a bad ass by design. Sorry about the bad word. I read it. I had to read one. Right? And Tiger Shroff is very, very popular among the youngsters, especially youngsters of India, especially young boys, little boys. They adore him because of the various, he's a kickboxer and etc. Stunts in his movies. Yeah? So they match it there. See, I read somewhere and I was telling you about how when first the Santro came, Shah Rukh Khan was the brand ambassador. Shah Rukh Khan had not arrived in Bollywood, meaning he had not yet, Shah Rukh Khan had not yet, was not yet a big hero. And Shah Rukh Khan also did not know whether Santro would be a hit. So Shah Rukh Khan, when he advertised for Santro, was shown outside Santro. He did not sit in the car. Later on is a different story. Shah Rukh Khan became a big hero and Santro was a very popular car, etc. etc. You can see, see each actor, like in Kannada actors, one is a power star, one is a rocking star, like this. They are given some names and they stand by it, that image. So the image of the Indian star is matched to the image of the car when you advertise. So here you look at it, they took a well-known Indian figure as its brand ambassador. All right. To realize India's potential, multinationals must show a strong and visible commitment to the country. You have to become as localized as possible. Empower local operators and invest in local talent. Empower local operations and operators as well and invest in local talent. Do as much outsourcing as possible. They must pay closer attention to the needs of Indian customers by offering customization the local market requires. Yeah? How much of customization you require? In a car, does the Indian driver require something more than a driver, say, in France or something? Yeah? India is a warm country. We need excellent ACs in the car. When we travel inside the city, we do not want to breathe in any polluted air. Bangalore is pretty nice, very nice actually. We can breathe in anywhere, except when there's a traffic jam, and then it's a little difficult. You should not breathe in. Otherwise, Bangalore is pretty safe. So, what do we require? See, if you see in a car, they say the size of the gear, is such that it gives the driver a sense of power. Ergonomics has decided that the when you hold your hand on the gear, it gives you such a kind of feeling of power when you drive. Similarly, um, You have a cup holder in some cars. You have a dashboard, and inside the dashboard there's a hidden switch for the BMW, to open the boot. You can just close it. No one can open your boot. Something like this. Different people require different things. I think maybe I'm giving you a wrong example in telling you about a car. Maybe you could talk about some chocolates. Yes, a nice example would be Indians. We have many of us like to have a pan. The typical. You know what's a pan? We all know it. After food, say you had a good biryani, vegetarian or non-vegetarian, you had a good biryani and you had a nice gulab jamun after that and all. So you come out of the hotel and well, there's a pan shop. You want a pan, maybe you a sweet pan or something like this. So accordingly, you will see that we have pan chocolates. Yeah, they are sweet and they have the pan this thing. It means you don't have to have a pan shop. You can have a pan chocolate. You see, this is the meaning of customization. Various things in customization. Okay, so a foreigner, a multinational must pay attention to the local market by customization. All right. Multinational executives must think hard about the way to enter the market. This will mean moving beyond the joint venture approach and learning to go it alone. Spice had once said, simply talk Madi. Yeah, there was a Kannada word there. Okay, let's go ahead. Look at this. I have given you, I could not copy, so I have given the next slide. I have taken screen print and I've given you. 19th century example of an export platform was the Lancashire uh, cotton textile industry, which imported raw cotton from the United States, manufactured it, manufactured cotton cloth, and exported finished goods to India and the rest of the world. As I have told you before, why was colonization done by Britain and other countries? They did colonization simply because industrialization, the industrial revolution, had made it possible to make so many factories. These factories made a lot of goods. Now, where were the goods to be sold? Their markets were too small, and having colonies where they could dump dump. I'm not meaning dumping in the form of what I have taught you. I'm just talking as a simple English word dump, put their goods in their colonies and expect the people in the colony to buy them. So this is this cotton mill industry bought raw cotton from the United States, manufactured cotton cloth, and brought it to India. The industry enjoyed a sustained spell of prosperity. We are talking of the 19th century. 19th century means 1800s, remember. It is worth noting, however, at that time, Britain had undisputed control of the seas. Yeah, they said the sun never sets on the British Empire. Why? They had so many colonies that somewhere, everywhere it's not night, everywhere at the same time. If it is day in one part of the world, it is night in one part of the world. They said the colonies were so widespread that there would be daylight in any one colony of the British, okay, which meant that the sun never set on the British Empire. So Britain had undisputed control. They had a superior naval force, and their ships were very good. So was notable for its political stability. Yeah, I had told you that the pound sterling was after the gold standard. The people pegged their currency internationally on the pound sterling, and the Bank of England was very powerful till 1920s. Now we'll see what happens in 1920s. And through its imperial power, controlled tariff policies in major export markets. Britain controlled. At the outbreak of the First World War, that is, First World War was 1914 to 1918. Transport costs rose because of a shortage of shipping. As I've told you before, during the First World War and the Second World War, if a country was involved in the war, then the people in the country, whoever is manufacturing anything, had to stop and produce goods meant for war, like arms and ammunition, ships, planes. Even BMW had to stop production of cars and go on and manufacture airplanes, etc., etc., whatever, tanks, cars, whatever, meant for war. So, what happened is transportation costs rose because a shortage of shipping. Yeah, ships were used all as warships, so there were less commercial liners. Commercial liners means commercial ships, and a loss of maritime control. There was no control over the sea during the war, isn't it? And the interruption of British supplies. Now, interruption of British supplies. So far, the British was supplying, Britain was supplying. During the war, they could not. So, import substitution, substitution, substitute imports, local markets, traditional markets started. Like in India, we said khadi. Why British cotton? Why not khadi? Like that. In tradition, it also provided the opportunity for a Japanese export drive into Britain's Far Eastern markets. Alright? Japanese also started capturing the markets. After the war, that is after 1918, the infant textile industries sought protection from exchange rate instability. Uh, this was the time I have explained to you before, and leave it now. I will explain to you when I talked about international financial management. I have to talk to you in great detail about the exchange rate. All right. International financial management is one part of international business where I will talk to you about the gold standard, everything till 19 from 1850 to 1950. I'll talk about, and afterwards also. Hmm? Yeah, hi Shri. So, with its imperial from British competition, also they wanted relief because Britain was capturing all the markets. And with with imperial power declining, Britain had only limited success in negotiating reductions in the tariffs before it was ruling the roost. During the 1920s, therefore, the Lancashire textile industry went into rapid decline. Now, why I have brought you this case study is it is not only the company which decides where to sell. It is also the conditions that rule in the said country. I've given you the example of the conditions in India. I'm an Indian, though I have traveled abroad. I'm not very, if I cannot talk for foreign countries because I haven't traveled in the recent past. All right. So what you have to do is the Lancashire in this thing went into decline. Understand this. The situations in a country are extremely important. In India, goods in movement, in addition to being subject to taxes, have to contend with within the state, intrastate, and border checkposts and deal with associated documents including road permits, way bills, etc. Remember that. As I told you, I'm not capable of telling you about the situation in other countries, but we can extrapolate it to other countries too when we talk about international business. But in India, we have road checks, we have documentations for road permits, etc. From state to state, you need a permit. Every state in India Every state in India has multiple sales tax checkposts along its national highways and borders to monitor movement of goods through it and prevent leakage or evasion of taxes. Evasion of taxes. You cannot evade tax. You cannot evade. You have to be there, right? Okay. You have to pay. Road permits monitor movement of goods in and out of states, accounting and reconciling that have been subject of VAT, CST in the right jurisdiction or territory. So, when you take, suppose from Bidadi, you are taking to Chennai, you have to cross the state border and it means different documentation. Would Coca Cola do it itself or would it take a local person to do it? A local person who has trucks in order to go across? Or would Coca-Cola manage a umbrella license if that is possible? Think about it. It is better to give logistics to a local person. Then the local person has a job, and he has a contract, and his people have jobs. So if something happens to Coca-Cola, the local person will support and say, thanks to Coca-Cola, I have a contract, a perennial contract or a perpetual contract, and my people say 250 people have jobs, isn't it? So even a government of a country will not harm a person who can give the people of the country jobs. You understand? So road permits. Okay, next slide. Inadequate infrastructure in our country limits the geographic reach of retailers. See, I cannot say this about Karnataka. In Karnataka, we have the Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation, KSRTC. I am proud to say that every remote village in Karnataka, at least once a day, KSRTC reaches. You may not be able to, you say, oh, the bus has already left, but the next day the bus will definitely come, all thanks to KSRTC. In Karnataka, we have a wonderful reach. Every every remote village has a bus coming there, at least once a day. I heard that in someone was telling me, I do not want to name the country. It's a very developed country. But if you go to a remote place, 3 days you will not get a bus. You will get a fantastic bus with all the amenities, the AC, etc., etc. But you will not get a bus for 3 days. Whereas in Karnataka, it may be a little rickety because of the roads, but the bus will come once a day. So, but it may not happen all over the country. All over the country, it may not happen. Good morning, sir. Okay. Increased investments in the development of infrastructure have not yielded desired results. See, we still have to go far in India about good roads, warehouses, logistic parks, hubs, etc. See, if you can have a park, like if you see from Tumkur to Bangalore, you will see lot of on each side. You will see lot of warehouses, and these warehouses are rented out to whoever wants it. All right, there should be more warehouses in our country. It is necessary, very much necessary. If there are more warehouses at different intermittent areas, then the goods can be kept there and lifted from there to nearby places. Suppose we require to give some goods from Bangalore to Kanyakumari. If, say, in Tirunelveli we have an intermittent hub, and whenever Kanyakumari says, I need the goods, you can ask them, pick up from there and give. Otherwise, the goods have to go from Bangalore. Imagine. Okay? So, intermittent warehouses are necessary in our country. There are, but they are not enough. Road network. India loses significant value every year due to, see, this, what I'm talking about, the problems of India, is thanks to a research report that I have sent you. It is from Ernst and Young and from Retailers Association of India. They joined together and made a report. I took it from the net and I have sent you. In detail, you will get all the problems in India. Now, I will give you an assignment. You have to write logistical issues faced by MNCs in India. You take that, I've given you that report, take that and you can make 2 pages enough. Write it like a 10 marks answer. That would mean 4 to 5 pages, isn't it? Write it like answer for 10 marks. A 5 page report, say 4 to 5 page report on the logistical issues faced by MNCs in India. All right. Now, India loses significant value every year due to congestion. What happens when you're in traffic jam in Bangalore? Wastage of fuel, slow speed of freight vehicles, and waiting time at toll plazas and checking points. Have you seen sometimes on Tumkur Bangalore Road when you travel how long is the this thing? You have FASTag, but the FASTag lane looks like slow tag, isn't it? I don't know why they still have to get savvy with the FASTag idea. I think, and though you have to go, that FASTag lane only is the slow lane many times. All right. So this waiting makes loses time. You have to pay your driver, that is idle time. You're wasting your fuel, that is idle time. Vehicles stopped at state border checkposts and on the roads are a major cause for delays. Trucks are stopped frequently to fill forms required by various government departments. Checking of documents and physical checking. Physical checking is mandatory, isn't it? They will have to check. And then drivers and consign also of the drivers and consignments. Regional transport offices and traffic police, as well as to collect highway toll and taxes. Even the traffic police will stop you if you bring a huge truck into Bangalore in the height of the city, height of traffic, right? It is estimated that 40% of the time lost on the road is due to stoppages at state border checkposts alone. There are huge lines at the state border checkposts. Imagine trucks. Till the checking is over, they cannot move on. And the report that I'm referring to, the Ernst and Young and Retailers Association of India report, they say all this. How a global retailer improved its collaboration with vendors by technology using technology is the case now. A leading global retailer wanted to improve the efficiency of its supply chain and reduce its costs. It sought to leverage technology to support its supply chain and business strategy of offering low prices to customers. Now, how did it do? Using technology. The company developed a supply chain visibility tool in house to facilitate its communication and collaboration. Imagine you have a huge board and you can see where your trucks are going, where they're stopping, where they are currently, all this. The three major functions of the tool were to store data, to share it with the company's vendors and help in shipment routing assignments. Okay, now we'll go back to it. Look at your slide. Store data, share it with company vendors, and in routing assignments. All right. Now, I want to tell you something interesting that I had invited the BMTC to the CBSMS department some years ago when I was in Central College, and the MD himself came. I fortunately had a student, he still works for KSRTC. He's a depot manager, Mr. Ramurthy, and he had facilitated this. He and his brother were our Murlidhar. I don't know where he works, I've forgotten. So both of them were our students, evening students, and he facilitated. He brought the MD himself of KSRTC to a department for a guest lecture. Now they were very forward, and the MIS manager. So what happened is they had they had implemented the GIS, that is Geographical Information System, and the GPS in KSRTC way back in 98-99 and 2000. I think I met them in the year 2000 or 2001. Now, what happened? Imagine a BMTC bus has to come from point A to Majestic, and in on the way it has 30 bus stops. Okay, from A to Majestic there are 30 bus stops. Now he can come, if he comes from point A straight, he has to not go to 4 bus stops. If he takes a straight route, he can avoid 4 bus stops. But according to rule, there are people waiting at the 4 bus stops. He has to deviate, go to the 4 bus, all the 30 bus stops before he comes to Majestic. But sometimes they found that drivers, in order if the bus was full or something, so for some reasons known only to them, they would avoid some bus stops and come straight to Majestic and go on their next trip. When the complaints came in, what the MD did, he put in the GPS system. There was some instrument kept on the bus, in the bus, like a torch. They showed us that instrument, and this torch-like instrument was, there were some arches at different points in the city and in Majestic. So when the bus passed under this, the through the satellite system also, this instrument recorded all the different routes the bus went to. When the bus reached Majestic, which was the main bus stop that time, now you have other Shantinagar, etc. I think that's KSRTC. Anyway, when it went to Majestic, what it did is the driver had to take that torch-like instrument, go to the control room, whatever office, put it into some other system, and the system would copy the whatever routes or the route or the stops the driver did, and then the driver had to remove the torch-like instrument and keep it in his bus again. So this had ensured that the BMTC bus went to every single stop that was told to that it had to go. All right, it had to go to every single. This they ensured. Way back in 2000 or something, I remember listening to this case study. They took this case study and they had gone to Bahrain and presented it, and All Asia some award they had won, BMTC. It was doing very good profits. You know what has happened now, sadly. But there it is. All right. It's pride to tell that a government owned um, transport corporation had thought of all this. We had IAS officers in Karnataka who thought of all this and did a marvelous job. Now we come back to this. I told you they wanted to this particular company. It was a global retailer and they wanted to use technology for 3 things. One is store data, share it with companies' vendors, and using routing, how to go. Through this tool, it provided suppliers with large amounts of raw data relating to their product sales in the company stores. All right, where how much sales was happening. It also informed them that all relevant information could be downloaded into vendors' data management systems and manipulated and analyze them in any way that would help them manage their products better. So they facilitated the vendors to handle their work better. The company also uses another system to automate its replenishment process. What is replenishment? Replenishment means whenever something is sold, a new set of products have to be, not new products, a new batch of products have to be kept in that place for sale. You cannot say out of stock, sorry. You cannot say we are out of stock. There has to be that product always in stock. It means two things. It doesn't mean you overstock, it doesn't mean you understock. Now, in inventory management, I have taught you, or other teachers have taught you, what is economic order quantity, what is danger stock, what is buffer stock. Various kinds of stocks are there. So, based on that, how much is there on the shelf, how much is there in the godown, how much is there in the warehouse, or how much is there in my stock, how much is on the shelf, all this we have to see. And what is the forecast, the sales also. So, according to users, the tool considers two important variables when making inventory related decisions: the point of sale data and the quantity of inventory in hand. This is exactly what I told you. How much is on the shelf? Point of sale means on the shelf. Taking these two factors along with trends and variability of demand and supply, the tool also made decisions on when and how much inventory to order. Yesterday, I was telling you about inventory, vendor managed inventory. Suppose the vendor is given the right to enter into your server into one particular section and order, I want so much of this again. Automatically, your ERP system will facilitate the order for that particular vendor without you interfering. So the vendor says, I want this, and you say. So vendor decides when he wants. The company doesn't have to say, oh, the vendor A requires 1 lakh tomorrow. Vendor B requires 1 lakh day after. You don't have to do those decisions. A and B are vendors who manage their own inventory. This is vendor managed inventory. Okay, they are managing their inventory. Benefit with this is, with this data, vendors have been able to make their supply chains more efficient and improve their services to the company. See, when you want to take 1000 Coca-Cola bottles, then you want to have a smaller auto like thing with 1000. All right, or according to the amount of product you are bringing from the manufacturer, you can use your own vehicle on a smaller scale, etc. You don't have to hire a truck. Now suppose you're hiring a truck, then suppose manufacturer is sending to A and B, cross docking can be done. A's and B's supply can go together. So this is the, when you have information, then this is what happens. The first tool makes collaborative efforts on vendor managed and co-managed inventory. Co-managed inventory is A and B communicating with each other, saying you want so much, I want so much. Okay, we'll bring a truck. Half the truck is mine, half the truck is yours, and half the cost of the truck is yours, half the cost of the truck is mine. Or if the company is saying, okay, whole truck goes, it's not going empty, right? The second tool enables the replenishment to be made more accurate without any human intervention. All right. Now, what is 3PL? I forgot yesterday to tell you what is 3PL. Third party logistics. Okay. I was confused also. I was wondering what is 3PL. Third party logistics market is at a nascent stage in India. This is from the report. There are hardly any players with a pan-India presence. This pan-India means across India. There is hardly any players who can say, see, there may be players saying, I'm a Bangalorean, I'm doing South India. I'm a Chennai person, I'm doing South India. All right? Or a Maharashtra person, I'm a Maharashtra person, I'm doing whole Maharashtra area. Or maybe Gujarat, Maharashtra and Gujarat maybe. There's hardly any player saying, I'm doing the entire country. So you require more than one player, more effort, more time, etc. Therefore, retailers often need to take on multiple local players with expertise in their particular regions, especially in the case of last mile deliveries. Last mile means reaching interior India. In fact, they frequently have, or manufacturers have, four or more logistics providers catering to different regions. All right. With this, we go that slide. We come back to the slide that I have been working on. Come to slide number 3, 4. 4, I think I finished. We started with this one, fifth one. For the fifth slide, I wanted to give you several examples and I had stopped. So I have given you examples. Let us move ahead. Sixth slide, the strategic context. If the firm, I'm talking about down there, if the firm intends to compete on the basis of price, operations managers have to design procedures that makes the cost of production lower. Therefore, first of all, locate production facilities where the labor costs are lower. All right? Okay. Now, I was giving you the example of mining iron ore mining iron ore in Hubli. How come they got so much profit? First of all is labor cost. Labor cost, it's a tier 2 city and mining happens in interiors. So the labor cost is much cheaper there. See, I'm not here to say it is right, it is wrong, you have to pay. This is not the platform to say that. This is the platform to explain why, why certain things happen in international business. First of all, in Hubli area, there was very labor costs were less, and if I'm right, the mining rights were given. I don't think anywhere in India that mining rights are given to private players. Here, it was done from 30 or 40 years before, so the practice continued. It wasn't a recent development that private players were allowed mining in the country. It is a 30, 40, or 50 years old story. No one recently is responsible for that. And then also transportation. Iron ore is huge, bulky, but there were trains, loads and loads. Even the Indian Railways benefited because loads and loads of ore was being transported. I once remember when going to the station, we had to stop, and the lorries wouldn't allow, they were passing, and nearly 50, 60 lorries, and all these lorries would load onto the train. So, because of this low labor cost, excuse me, cheaper licensing mining rights, and third, the transportation was all the reason that mining people made very big, huge profits. All right, come to the next slide. Complexities of international operations management. First one, resources. Key decisions relate to sourcing and vertical integration. Now here, I will come to see vertical integration. Example is there later, but I will explain now. Sourcing. You know what is sourcing? Then wait, let me finish this. Location, administrative facilities, sales office and plants, and how to design them. These are the complexities. Okay. And last, logistics, mode of transport to use and methods of inventory control. See, I cannot separate all this. One goes into the other, isn't it? So next slide you avoid, and the next slide it's what I have already example. Now, international sourcing and dimensions here. International sourcing and vertical integration. What do you mean by vertical integration? This is a very important concept. Yashaswini, you are still here. Why? When is your class? Okay. Uh, wait. Vertical sourcing, vertical integration. This is a very interesting concept. Imagine there is a product, iron ore. Iron ore comes from mines, right? Imagine Mr. A owns a mine where he mines iron ore. Okay. Now, Mr. A employs a logistics company employs a logistics company to transport this ore from his mines to a factory. Okay, yeah. Mr. A employs, okay, whoever juniors are there, listen to this. What is the meaning of vertical integration? I said Mr. A owns mines that, what kind of mines? Iron ore mines. He has to transport it to the factory where iron and steel is manufactured. So he employs some logistics person for the trucks or whatever to take it to the iron and steel factory. In the iron and steel factory, the ore is made into whatever iron and steel is necessary. Okay. From that factory, let's say they make construction steel. There is another logistics provider who takes this construction steel from the factory to the place of, say, stockist or wholesaler or whatever. All right. For the factory, the facility which makes iron and steel from iron ore, it requires coal. So coal comes from another coal mining place, from a mine, coal mine. All right. Now what happens? Mr. A, who owns the iron ore mine, suddenly decides, I will buy trucks. I have the money. Let me buy trucks. So my trucks will take the iron ore to the factory. Now, if you see the line, the bottom part of the line was the iron ore mine. Then came the truck above it, logistics. So when Mr. A buys the logistics towards in the upward line, it is called upward vertical integration. Do you understand? Mr. A buys the trucks for supplying his iron ore. He owns the iron ore mine. He buys the trucks to supply the iron ore to production. All right. This is upward integration. All right. He may buy the factory also. Another example of upward integration. Do you understand? Okay. Now, Mr. A will think, let me buy the coal mine. All right. Let me buy the coal mine. All right. This is horizontal integration. All right. Suppose the factory which is manufacturing, says, let me buy the logistics, let me buy trucks and do the logistics myself for bringing the coal or iron ore from the mine to my factory behind. Then it is backward integration. Do you understand? So I've taught you what is into vertical integration. In that I've taught you forward integration. I've taught you horizontal integration and backward integration. Is that clear? Very interesting concept, isn't it? So, let's go to the next slide. Sourcing is the set of processes and steps a firm uses to acquire the different resources it needs to create its own products. I told you before also, I think it is very clear. It affects product cost, product quality, and the internal demand for capital. How? If you get good raw material, quality is good. If you get technically skilled labor, the quality of your product will be good. If you get labor at a reasonable cost, then the quality of your product is good, isn't it? The quality. So, sourcing affects the product cost. All right, cost of production will be affected by labor cost, the cost of raw material, the cost of water, electricity, everything. So, product cost. How is the product quality affected by sourcing? By getting the correct, right amount of water, right quality of water, the raw material, the components, and also, as I told you, there should be skilled labor. All right. In Bangalore, there is no dearth of information technology experts. In fact, people who study and are ready for working in the information technology industry make a beeline to Bangalore, isn't it? We have lot of, it's an IT city. So you can establish a software firm in Bangalore more easily than establishing it elsewhere in India. Hyderabad, there are IT people. Bangalore, there are IT people. You would not go to some other city which is not so IT savvy. All right, and the internal demand for capital. You get, if you, for example, if labor cost is cheap, the demand for capital is also less. If the machinery that you're manufacturing is available locally, then the demand for capital is less. Imagine importing it from some other country. It will be costlier thing. So this demand for capital is also based on sourcing. I talked to you about vertical integration. I explained. Let's go on. Firms that have little vertical integration are involved in only one step. In the example I gave you, Mr. A is only one step, involved in only one step. He owns the iron ore mine, or just a few steps in the production chain. He decides to do vertical integration and buy the trucks or buy trucks for transporting iron ore from his mine to the iron and steel factory. Then he's two steps in the production chain. They may buy their inputs and components parts from other suppliers, perform one. See, this is not necessary. What I have already explained to you with examples how vertical integration takes place. Now I have here a small case study on BHP. BHP, British. What is BHP? One of the core businesses of the group is BHP Steel, which manufactures. See, this is an example that I have already given you. Don't want to go deep into it. You just understand it. I think it is basically in Australia. Never mind where it is. I've given you the example. If you wish to read it, you read it. Otherwise, it's the same example, if I'm not mistaken, of what I have given, or a similar example. Come to make or buy decisions. Make or buy decisions are made through sourcing decisions by production managers. See, if there is someone who can manufacture one component at a better, cheaper rate and the quality is extremely good, why don't you buy it? Now, spark plugs by Bosch. Bosch makes spark plugs better quality, of better quality and cheaper rate, and at a cheaper rate, so you can buy and input it in your this thing machine, or buy spark plugs from Bosch and use it in your bikes instead of manufacturing the spark plugs. See, radiator caps by Sundaram, TVS. Ford every year outsources its radiator caps from Sundaram Industries, TVS, TV Sundaram Industries. Every year they win regularly they have been winning the bid for supplying the radiator caps of Ford to America. So, like that, they feel Ford must be feeling it is better because TVS gives me excellent quality radiator caps at a very reasonable rate. So why should I manufacture and waste my time? I may manufacture radiator caps, at a costlier price, and the quality may not be as good as them because they are already specialized in manufacturing them. So let me outsource that. So these are make or buy decisions. Make or buy decisions are also part of international operations management. International firms make trade offs between costs and one of the following: control. Do you want, see, if you want control, you have to spend more. If you give the control to somebody, you have to spend less. This is a trade off. Also, the trade off between cost and risk. More the risk, more the profit. Less the risk, less the more the cost. All right. Investment in facilities, technology, and people. Suppose, see, MNC comes into India as a foreign direct investment. Then what happens? Excuse me. They put in money for the factory. Sometimes maybe they may need to build a road from the factory to the main road. So all this happens. Otherwise, you can just instead of having a factory, you can just bring in goods from the other country of from your home country. So is it better to bring from home country or is it better to manufacture? If you manufacture, you have to spend more, that is more cost, but you have control over this thing. If you otherwise if you rent a factory, imagine you're renting a factory, and then someone will say, okay, enough, I need my factory, you can go somewhere else. You see? So there's no control over it. So when you put more cost, there is more control. Also, flexibility. It's your own. You can have flexible timings. Not only, sorry, flexible timings came as a natural thing because we keep on saying flexible timings, etc. Flexibility in everything. You can do what you want. It's like owning your own house and, yeah, you can cook, you can eat what you want. You can have your own timings. You can come and go when you want, isn't it? So this is the way. Okay, class. I think I have done about. Next is a picture which I had already shown you. I think in your first semester, if I'm not mistaken, in marketing. But you keep this picture. Tomorrow, I will talk to you with examples about how the picture of the car showing OEMs. I spoke to you last time about OEMs, original equipment manufacturers. Look into that car. Tomorrow I'll discuss and I'll tell you practical examples. These are all related and supporting industries. I talked to you about manufacturing hubs, automobile manufacturing hubs, India, that is in Tamil Nadu, you have automobile manufacturers. That's why the automotive sector with related and supporting industries has developed. So something like that, I'll give you examples. This is, see, international business has to be discussed, thought, mulled over. It's like putting chewing gum in your mouth and chewing nicely, and understanding when when you have to throw it. But you cannot throw out international business. You have to keep on chewing it and understanding what is happening. All right. So internet will take it slow, 1 hour at a time. I need to tell you with examples because it's such an important subject. All when you it is necessary for you very much because you're going into an international field. All right. Within 6 months of you going and joining a company, I have received messages from students. Ma'am, I'm in England. I'm in Germany. I'm in Australia. Yeah, except in Timbuktu. I have seen students everywhere. Okay, now seniors, I have something juicy to tell you. All right. What are you doing sitting at home? Learn cooking. If you know cooking, learn some more dishes. Now, I have told the juniors that we are going to have a cooking competition. All right? A cooking competition, right? Learn any two dishes that you can prepare in 1 hour. We are going to have judges, and I'll give you all of you. I promised you a party, I'll give you a chocolate bar. All of you will get a chocolate bar from me. So, learn two dishes. I'm looking forward to eating Sushank, some dish from Nepal. Yeah, guys, something from Afghanistan. Yeah. And who else in your class? Who else is there? Never mind. Juniors are there from all over the world. So we'll have particular traditional dishes. And I promise you, I'll bring you something typically Mangalorean, right? Vegetarian. Okay. I've gone vegetarian these days. I'll take permission from the university and look forward to this one lovely cooking competition. All right, one full day we are going to have a cooking competition. I'm only going to eat. All right, don't expect anything from me except one Mangalorean dish, and that won't be that day. All right, look forward to cooking competition. Is that okay, guys? Yeah, lot of dishes from all over the world we'll have. All right, I'll ask university permission, and then we could take a big maidan or something, and you could bring your own cooking stuff and have fun. It's going to be a great time. All right. Look forward to it. I've given you something to look forward to. I've given you an assignment to do unofficially. Learn any two dishes. You should surpass everybody. All right. It can be any dish. Someone told me, "Ma'am, our food is spicy. Can you take it?" Never mind. You'll see my nose water, my eyes water. All of us. Still, my taste buds will work. So spicy dishes are not a problem. I'll just take out one or two green chilies or red chilies and eat the dish. Okay. So look forward. Now your official assignment is to just say what are the logistical issues that an MNC faces in India, and unofficial is to learn one or two dishes. We'll make groups of 8, so you can make your own groups now already. You can have about 10 groups from the seniors. You all are 79. Even if people don't come to class, they'll come for this, I'm sure. So make some of this thing, and we'll have fun. Look forward to this. Yes, class? Okay, I'll see you all tomorrow. The class care should not be too heavy. Like I gave you a chewing gum, you eat it now, munch it, think about it till I give you another chewing gum tomorrow. Okay? What flavor you want? Strawberry, mint. Today it is mint. Okay? Chew on the mint chewing gum, and tomorrow, Yama, yeah, I'll give you. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care. I'm there with you. Stay at home. Break the chain. With you inside, Corona is out, it seems. If we are in, Corona is out. Please take care. Again, keep your hands clean. And I was watching for your exam. Everyone is like this, like this, like this. I didn't want to disturb you during the exam. I badly wanted to tell you, don't touch your faces. Yeah, don't touch your faces like this, like this. I don't know why. The paper was so easy. I think. I thought the paper was pretty nice, well covered in the subject and all. I am not here to say it was easy. It was challenges. There were challenges in the paper that could be taken up. All right. Okay, guys. See you all. God bless all of you. And I'll come on tomorrow. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.